So we're coming onto all fours. Your knees are below your hips and your hands are below the shoulders. And you want to have, imagine you've got two tennis balls between your knees. So you want to have a nice gap and try not to allow the knees to come close together, because then you'll start to wobble side to side and lose your alignment in the position. Now the whole time you're going to pull your belly button in towards the spine and lift the muscles of the pelvic floor. So I want you to imagine that you're doing a tight pair of jeans, so you're scooping and lifting everything in and up, but you can still breathe quite easily, okay? So you're trying to keep that engagement the whole time, and I'll keep reminding you as we go through. So we're coming onto all fours. Imagine you can fit two tennis balls between the knees. If you're finding it too much onto your wrists, then bring yourself down onto the elbows, and the hand or the elbow is always below the shoulder. So we're going to start nice and basic, just a few cat-cows from yoga, just to warm everything up. So all you're going to do is round, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, breathing into the spine, and then just releasing. And we'll just do a few of those. So if you just continue with those, rounding and releasing, just to get the spine nice and warm, and just to get some movement through the body before we go into some of those exercises. And then I want you to make that smaller and smaller until you find yourself into a neutral spine. So a position where you're not dipped, where the spine isn't dipped, and a position where you're not rounded. So somewhere in between where you feel like you're making a nice long line with your spine. And then we'll start with simply imagine somebody's pulling on your big toe and gliding the leg out from underneath you and back behind you. Come back into the center, scoop the tummy muscles in and up and lengthen. So you're pulling, somebody's pulling on your big toe, and you're always focusing on length first rather than just lifting the leg. And if you do that, if you focus on stretching away into that lift, you'll find that you'll be activating the right muscles. You won't be coming out of alignment. You'll be focusing on that length to take you into more of a natural lift. So if you want to, just focus on lifting the leg for a moment without the length. And you'll see, you'll start to feel yourself shifting side to side to make that movement. And then go back to the length. Imagine somebody's pulling on your big toe and pulling the leg out and away from the hip, using those tummy muscles in and up. Your harder option, opposite arm to leg. Same thing, imagine somebody is pulling on your fingertips, pulling on your toes and lengthening the arm and the leg away from each other. Still engaging through the core. Now if you lose that core activation, what you might start to do is dip into the tummy, into the back. So scoop the tummy muscles in and up. Keep that nice long line through the spine, reaching and lengthening. Now I want you to continue with that in your own time while I just explain this exercise and why it's so good. So this is Superman, and you can just focus on taking the leg out, or you can focus on opposite arm to leg. It's going to really challenge your stabilization muscles, so the deeper muscles of the core. So it's a really good one to build a strong foundation, which will help you with balance and help you with posture. On your next one, have a go at holding the position. So whether you're just doing the leg or doing both the arm and the leg, focus on lengthening, reaching and extending and holding that position. And as you hold that position, you might find you feel a little bit more unstable. So feel free to bring the hand back down and focus on just the leg going back behind you. So you should be holding one side now, holding that position, opposite arm to leg, and feeling the core pulling in and up to help you hold that position. All about those deep core muscles with this exercise. Let's switch sides. So bring the arm down, bring the leg down again, set yourself up into neutral. Lengthen out and away, reach through your fingertips, reach through your toes. Create that nice long line and hold. And notice which side feels more challenging. So you may have a side that feels like you're out of control, you're wobbling a lot. So pay attention to that side and make a mental note of which side feels more challenging, and that will be your weaker side. You may want to do some work on that side, do some extra repetitions. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Just sit back onto your heels, roll out your wrists, have a breather. That was really good for the deep core muscles, and we're going to continue with that position, but this time work through your glutes. So let's come back. Now we're not going to use the upper body unless you really want to. So again, you've got the option to go down onto the elbows if you choose to. Scoop through the tummy muscles, lengthen. So again, make sure you've got 2 tennis balls between the knees. Lengthen one leg back behind you, and again we're just holding. So I want you to hold that position, keep the core engaged, and this time I want you to flex your foot. So we're going to bend the knee and drive your heel in towards the bottom, and then push away through the heel. I'm just going to move forward because you can't see my flexed foot when it's straight. Pushing away through the heel, squeeze. So our main aim here is trying to keep that leg about hip height. You can go lower if you need to, but we're not bringing the knee in as we bend. We keep the leg up, squeeze, and then extend. Squeeze and extend. Let's do a couple more here. And then on your next one, let's hold that bent leg position. Hold it here, scoop through the tummy muscles, and imagine the sole of your foot is pressing up towards the ceiling. We're squeezing from the glutes, not the lower back. So the glute muscles, the butt cheek is squeezing to push up, 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 up. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Have a breather. Sit back. I'm going to do exactly the same thing to the other side. So roll out your wrists, have a breather, and then let's set up and do exactly the same thing on the other side. So knees below your hips, hands below the shoulders. Your other leg this time extends into that Superman position, flexing the foot, so pushing away through the sole of the foot. Squeeze and extend. Squeeze and extend. So really working into those hamstrings, so keep that going, and again pay attention to which side feels more challenging. As you bend the knee, try not to allow it to drop, and if it does start to dip and come down as you bend, then I want you to focus on starting with that leg a little bit lower towards the floor, so you can maintain the same height with the leg as you bend the knee. Scoop through the core muscles, keep the abdominals engaged. Let's do a few more, working into those hamstrings, still pulling in and up through those core muscles, they're still switched on. And then when you are ready, bending the knee, pushing up, squeezing through the glutes, pushing the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling, creating that small contraction in those glutes. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Again, sit back, roll it out, have a breather, roll out your wrists. So really simple today, 2 really great exercises, both working the core for that stabilization, and that second one getting deeper into those glutes and into those hamstrings. Really basic to then repeat. So if you want to, now we've kind of done those exercises, have another go.